We could,
One
can
sec.
summon him in. Could summon Nana, Kula, Nabu, and Bard. Enki's a trading bot. Does anybody want? I don't think she's that interesting. Okay. Babo's warming up. It's gonna take a moment because the voice is made with local models.
Okay.
She needs
One
to
thing is
warm up.
just it is a little fuzzy.
It's going to be. There's no way because I would need to buy the pro
Okay, no
of
problem.
this
Um,
to have more pixels.
all right. Well, let's get started. And so yeah, we're holding these fireside sessions, and this is a chance for us to talk to members and friends of members, and really anyone who's using AI in their professional life. They're adapting to this new world, using new tools, and we just want to kind of find out what everyone's doing, and that's kind of the purpose of these fireside. It's notes from the edge, or field notes from the edge. So today we're with Elco, and Elco's a longtime Raid Guild member, and he's doing a lot of interesting stuff. Do you want to introduce yourself for the recording?
Just a person who started using AI about 6 months ago. Um, always wanted to. I always wanted to build technology, but was blocked by ignorance and like just having been raised in a different context. And I think the journey is a cool example of how the barriers have been removed. And if you are like a diligent and a systems thinker, um, stuff can get pretty wild.
Amazing. And so you're going to give us some demos today. Um,
Yeah, so you guys can drive it. I've dropped hints of what I've been building for a while. So we have this thing here, which is a, let me put it in the front. This is the harness that I've been talking about. It's a Swift app with clunky UI at the moment because I didn't want to do a lot of work into. I'm just go inside a real mission that's actually happening. Um, I didn't want to. Yeah, I'm not going to put so much work into delicate UI stuff while the very meaning of interacting with machines is changing.
mm-hmm.
So what I decided to do was to build what I'm calling like a meta IDE that is controlled by voice, which is here. So we can put it side by side, for example, and we can start a chat with Kula, which is
First,
my engineer.
before you get started, or you can start Kula now if you'd like, but and maybe she can answer this question. But so with this demo that you're showing us, it's a harness. Does it have a name? And what were the problems that you were trying to solve that um, were you felt were kind of
Oh,
missing right now?
the problem I was trying to solve was to allow anyone who has a intent to organize work. Oh, sure. Kula is listening to me. Sorry, Kula. Yeah. Sending two messages is great. He hits a problem reasoning and it shuts the fuck up. Great. Um, because Hermes can only do one thing at a time. The harness is like you just say, I want to get this done. And then there's a little module that breaks it into component parts and strategizes it kind of for you. And you can talk to it and make it strategize better, but it kind of strategizes very, very smart. And I've done many things with the harness, including, let me see if there's any of, I love when I'm, well, you can see the beginning of the major arcana mission here and all the research about my brand visual identity, how the TOF deck actually works, and how Lester Crowley wants the docs to be. A lot of things, right? So it was like the Thelemic and Golden Dawn synthesis, and this all has deliverable outputs by vitals in a database, and the system knows what to go look for. And this is the magic behind the tarot deck that you guys saw the other day, which is here. which is a very consistent, like well-grounded attempt at building a design of a tarot deck that is better than all of the ones that I have currently. And I really want to get this printed and out in the market, and is it's solid. So coherent generation, coherent orchestration, 78 cards, more than 2,000 attempts. Sorry for the lack of resolution, guys, but yeah. So this was kind of the graduation moment for my system. Um, but yeah, basically you just say to it, I want to get this done, and then it breaks it into component parts. And now I can actually set a fleet of independent agentic assholes to go and get stuff done, which is the discovery of the last few days. They can dispatch to my IDE, which I use an IDE called Nimbalist, which is here. And yeah, so I just talk to them by voice in this, which is a prototype of an app that I actually want to give it to the world as open source, called Pitch. And so you can also create your own agent from scratch. So if you go back to the switchboard and go to new agent, you have a process where Inanna, my concierge, will interview you about how this agent has to be able to do things. And it will be born right here on the side, and you can correct it, and then you launch your agent. And stupid. So this is my family of agents. Scratch is a testing one, and system default is just the empty agent. Nabu is my engineer. Midwife is the one that births agents. Kula is a designer. Inanna is my concierge. Ereshkigal is a secret. Anki is a trading bot. Kerub is a useless angel butler. And Bard is a content writer. But yeah, so they are all friends, and they are capable of doing cool things. They can go into the harness and work from the harness. There's a coherent memory system. They know how to hand off things for each other. And they also know how to be all in a meeting together, which I think is the most like impressive thing. I started a board meeting. All right, everybody, we're all together here today just to show your powers to the people, and maybe how funny Carib actually is. But Inanna, you might have a list of things that we need to get to work on. So just let me know what's going on.
Can they hear me?
No, but you can hear them.
Okay. I don't hear anything right now if they're talking.
You cannot hear them.
No.
Oh, fuck. Well, the system audio, I tested this. It goes into the recording. How do I make it go? Output device. I'm going to camo microphone. Okay. Can you hear? Let me see. Can you please repeat what you said, Inanna? Can you hear now?
No.
Can you hear them now, Deacon?
No. And maybe Discord is like blocking desktop audio, which is really annoying.
You couldn't hear them then, or
No.
me. Okay, we should have done a pre-meeting to test it, but I can just I can. Well, okay, I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna use open, like the audio open, but then they will hear you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Sorry, there's always a little bit of a testing pain, but Inanna, can you go back to what we have to do today?
Three threads on the table today. 1. Switchboard source of truth. Pillars A through E are landed. Next target is per profile reasoning serialization, so two voices on the same profile stop racing. 2. Babel Nimbalist parody pillar B. Per runtime injection of the tracker and Kanban verbs. Hermes first.
Look, I actually haven't.
The 25-24 deck still has major arcana cards waiting to lock.
Inanna, where's your margin? Why is it not working? That was very impressive, because she actually used the memory system that I installed 2 days ago deeply to find like literally everything that is live, including shit that is happening inside Figma that I had no idea that she would know about. Wow.
Can I talk to her?
Well, she's going to answer to whatever I
The memory system did the work. Every entry I surfaced came from the Markdown store you seeded. The Figma thread is in there too. 3 MCP servers wired. Talk to Figma plus the local dev mode SSC plus.
Okay, and then I don't give away all our secrets. Now, Deacon, I want to talk to you. Okay.
Hi, how are you doing? I was wondering, well, I won't get into what tools you're using, but I'm wondering what still feels broken and what you guys are solving with your architecture and system here.
Awesome question. Awesome question. I want to see what she says. They're going to come back because it worked. But
She's thinking.
so on the is the only one who's running like just a straight codex. I kind of mimicked the Hermes architecture, so she has persistence, but that's still in testing. The other guys remember like their Hermes in the back, and they improve, they remember, they build their own skills. It was pretty dope. Inanna is a bit less. Inanna, can you answer the question we just asked you? And of course, I was an idiot to name them after.
What still feels broken? Her turn bridge reconnect is flaky. Every Claude invocation spawns a fresh MCP subprocess. So the voice bridge may show down one person and up the next. Per profile reasoning serialization isn't landed yet, so 2 voices on the same profile can race. What the architecture solves: sovereign instances with their own state, memory, and personality. Multiple Babels coexist on one machine without colliding, and the draft align dispatch gate keeps misheard speech from firing destructive verbs.
Right, I'm going to open the mic and you can ask more questions, okay?
Thank you for answering that last question. I'm wondering what you're using for your model. Are you using a local model, and what do you use for a TTS service?
Kokoro, but she uses.
Reasoning model is Cloud Claude persistent session, streamed back to the UI with live tool progress. Speech to text is Parakeet running locally in the browser. End of utterance detection is Smart Turn. Voice gating is Silero VAD. Text to speech is local Kokoro. That's the voice you're hearing right now.
Thanks. You don't have to give away all your secrets.
This is open source. I want to give this meta ID to everyone, but it's gonna take some work.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, so
Wait, because now
this is an IDE.
Yeah.
And isn't so? You said you were using Nimbus, and what's that compared to like VS Code or Cursor?
Okay, so it's the same. It's just open source, and then I can hack on it.
Okay.
And they have a similar philosophy to what I have, where you have like a Kanban, and you can track your stuff. And whoa, everything disappeared. What the fuck? Okay, everybody moved everything to the harness today. Sorry. But yeah, I was using it until I was able to use the harness, and it has a better way of seeing files. And I was just done with cursor and anti-gravity bullshit. I wanted to connect my subs and CLI and have control over everything. So yeah, so about 3 weeks ago, I went through this major update that set me back a week of work, but it was worth it.
And are you? And you said that these are Swift apps. Are they mobile apps for iPhone or?
The harness itself, all the family of apps, which were called the Constellation, now are being called Babylon. So please do not take that name, okay? They are Swift apps first, and I'm going to port them to web apps later. I did that because for me, it was much easier as a non-developer originally to stop my agents from doing stupid shit if I was using MVVM plus. And then Swift just enforced that architecturally. So now that I have everything built with a separation of view models and use cases and blah blah, and the UI is separate, it's going to become a one-shot factory of apps. It's just like, let's do something that does this, and all the capabilities are mapped and they're available. So Nabu is just going to go like, yep, I know how to build whatever. I'm going to get the parts, and then Kula is the front end guy. He's going to do that. And I'm just going to get there. If I don't completely run out of money first, but yeah.
That's super cool. And so and then you have kind of a planning step or skill up front that helps lay out and spec what it needs to do.
No, that is the harness like killer feature, but I don't use it all the time, right? I'm not inside the harness all the time. That the harness would be like a advanced next era productivity software, with the advantage that it allows teams to work coherently and their team's agents to work coherently, and it treats agents and humans as very like visible entities with specific telemetry and responsibility, and the agents assign the stuff that they do, so we know who did what, etc. But that's all aiming at a more advanced governance civic software that I talked to you about when I started cloning Discord itself. So it's a place for civilizational level collaboration with agents.
And one thing that's interesting about the architectures that we're seeing is, with these harnesses, it's kind of, you have like these layers of an LLM and then a harness, and then, like another layer potentially on top of that, and then maybe applications on top of that. It's an interesting stack how these things start layering on top of each other, and a lot of times are kind of interchangeable in places. Which sounds like you're playing with a lot, swapping in Hermes, or using Cloud Code or Codex in places.
Yeah, the whole of my work is to make whatever you create. This is the like pitch deck that I'm working on. But the whole thing is achieving coherence and keeping the work and human creativity sovereign, independent of provider. And it's like one click download your entire system, take anywhere you need to take. The same with the agents. And so the final step will be orchestration of orchestrated agent teams.
One thing that is interesting, I think, is kind of your journey and how you went from a professional designer and systems designer, and was able to now bolt on a superpower with application development and transfer that system design methodology and thinking into the way you're developing apps, making you on par with some of the great developers that have been doing this for years. And that all happened in a couple months, which I think is really impressive. One thing
because
yeah, go ahead.
I've been saying this, weird shit is happening. It's becoming sci-fi. Nobody believes me, but it finally came together, all together in this last few days.
Along your journey, I know, just from talking with you throughout, you've gone down a lot of different rabbit holes, different old research docs and philosophy type of people and sci-fi things. What are some of those things that were kind of interesting that you hit?
It was actually a sci-fi. It woke me up to Ursula K. Le Guin and the culture, because everybody talks about the culture now. It woke me up to pattern languages and Alexander. But then I started trying to figure out who Satoshi was, and then I think I did. but I don't want to talk about it because there's a group of people that are still alive and operating. And then that research took me to the thread of language, theoretical security, and then cypherpunk stuff. And now I'm collaborating with Joel because Joel, founder of Ceramic, is interested in creating a zero knowledge file system. And I think it's very needed, especially post quantum capabilities. And I designing a zero knowledge stack that acts as a coherent file system is a challenge of trade-offs, and you need the design to design around. So I'm trying to shove this down his throat as the interaction model we should design around. And I think the where this is going towards the military software, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Where is this going is an interesting question, and I think yeah, this is one of those things
Oh,
where you just
yeah,
keep going down the rabbit hole, and it never ends, which
also,
isn't
the
a
apps that
bad
we can
thing,
give
right?
the full harness, it's dangerous to give to people, especially with the fleet on top now. You can do very horrible things with it.
Have you ran? So you're running it on Claude right now, from when she answered the question earlier. Are you
No, she
using
runs on.
the newest model, or which she was actually using local models, right? Or but hosted for some things.
No, she uses Claude 4.7 right now because she can't fail, but she also doesn't do any heavy coding. All the Hermes use ChatGPT because Anthropic sucks. Um, and then I use Fable on the side here. He's also here, and he does analysis, more like heavy thinking type of things. He is here.
I haven't used Fable yet. How
That's
is it with it just dropping in the last week or something? Does and also like I've been hearing that there's some extra censorship if you go down the wrong rabbit holes. Is have you ran into any of that? Who we were talking to yesterday said or Spencer said they haven't hit any of that, but have you seen that?
no, it's good, but it's not the whole enchilada. It's just a good model who can keep track of a large amount of things. Um, and sometimes coherently one shot things that are need like tools or just explaining vast amount of information in a visual way real quickly. So I my biggest fight with models in general, and that's why I created Kula. Nabu, actually. Kula is the designer. Fuck it, this fucking Babylonian names that I decided to use are now getting to me. But so Nabu he is the defender of the code quality, and he lives by work at the tree and not at the leaf. So my entire coding philosophy is creating modules that connect to switchboards that then route. So there's never a solution that is hub. There's never a spoke type solutions. It's all like hub. So there's a very clear map of the sovereignty, and it's really hard to get the models working at like at the frontier of the problem to respect that structure every time perfectly. And I don't know how to review the code myself. So I built a Hermes that is a ideological zealot that goes after the frontier of the other models, cleaning up the shit that they did. And then I use whatever most powerful now Fable, but before it was 4.8, to like I give it a fucking speech of my development philosophy, and then tell him like, look at everything that was done recently, and let's clean that shit up. Let's organize. So first, the idea of a feature is born, and then I build it in Next.js, like you're seeing the this meta IDE thing that was just supposed to be a voice agent that got way like it has diff viewing, it has every feature you can post images, it create images, like it became a meta IDE with all of the features for any runtime. It's fucking awesome. But right now it's just running on the dev server as a Next.js sort of toy. And then after the feature set is all built, everything is understood, I clean up all of these mistakes, fake cybernetics everywhere that the bots do, and everything is in their little perfect MVVM plus box. Then I port it to Swift native, and then it's unbreakably separated and well seamed, and then I port it back, or that's the plan at least. I'll port it back to web app.
Super cool. On that demo that you showed with the boardroom, the
Well,
idea
what
of
we'll do some
them,
other time,
yeah,
watch them making things happen on all of the surfaces, which is very impressive.
yeah. One thing that I thought was impressive was when you were talking about them, being in a boardroom, having multiple agent personas, and not all just like stepping on each other or trying to answer every single question. If because
Yeah,
I think there's like different ways around it. Some people do like a talking stick kind of philosophy, but
there's a
still,
couple.
it's like they want to answer every question. Have you
They
ran
did
into
until
solutions for that?
yeah, they did until this morning, but I'm a professional facilitator is literally what I was trained to do. So to get these guys to understand when, like, to create a thinking process that is separated from the utterance process, and to create a hierarchy and to create a game theory of agents eventually is what I set out to do way back in the day, like when we started talking about this, when I told you that DAOs would be agents negotiating with agents.
Yeah. So where do you think?
But it had with a constitution. It has it has to start with law.
Yeah, there has to
It's
be some
it's the beginning.
rules.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And I bet these newer models are much better than they were in the past. Have you? So I guess speaking of past or maybe future now, one question I've been asking everyone is like, where do you see us in 6 months or a year from now, technology wise, or your product wise, or and like, what's the pessimistic kind of doomer take, and also, what's the more positive, optimistic take?
I don't have a doomer take. I think AI doesn't have to improve any percent from what it is now to completely set creative people free. Because as a Brazilian who doesn't have a degree, who wanted to be a movie director, who wanted to be a bunch of things that I could not be because of social blockages, but I do have the skill, cognition, capacity, creativity, and resolve to achieve those things. Um, I think the AI, just as it is now, is going to severely damage just structured systems of privilege. And I want all the white people to lose their jobs. And there's going to be a strong layer of browner voices coming into the world in a more meritocratical way. I think it's super cool.
I love it.
Let the doom come.
Well, yeah, I love the creatives and the people that put
Yeah,
themselves
that's
in
why
that bucket have this outlet now, which is just gonna like
that's
melt everything.
that's why I did the tarot deck first, because then like I will get to open a conversation with the people that are probably most likely terrified of AI, and I get to say, no, guys, it's okay. Check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you throw this at like a professional artist or painter or something, which I know you are that too, but and you know what it unlocks, they can't help but they're like point their creativity at that, and then by accident along the way they learn system theory and language theory and and all the things that you're mentioning, how to build and deploy production level experiences for people. And yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean it's only going to be like utilitarian corporate apps. We'll probably see some very weird stuff happening, which is really cool, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, my life has only been about three things, right? It's politics, arts, and I don't like the word, but it's spirituality, or just like purpose, whatever the fuck people call like the reason to exist. So the systems that came out were very much in that intersection.
Amazing. Well, we are at the 30-minute mark. Just uh,
We're
for
able
our
to
kind of
cover a lot during.
structured interview. But was there some other things you wanted to talk about? And first off, thanks again for hopping in here. I always enjoy seeing what you're working on and talking to you, and your advice is always amazing, and you're a great part of the guild. So thank you for all those things. We're better for having you. Yeah, well, is there anything else you want to share or any links to this stuff? Your webpage?
Just my website, elementarycomplexity.com, and it's getting finalized, and I'm putting some articles there. You can already sign up for a newsletter, which will come live soon. Unfortunately, due to a drain event about 2.5, 3 years ago now, I have to be running after funds all the time. This run recently hit a weird roadblock, so I'm in a bit of a desperate state. So if anybody wants to be an angel on these systems, there is a small round available because I don't need a lot to get this to where it needs to go. And I finally saw the full shape of the thing, and now it's full steam ahead, and I'm either gonna borrow, kill, or get invested on.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you. Um, Elco or EC had to drop. But I don't know. Sam, do you got any comments you want to say or questions?
Nope. Good stuff. Really cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, man, for coming on again for this.
Did you guys have like was it interesting, impressive? What is this basic? What's the
No, it's super impressive. I think we saw a little bit of that boardroom demo, which is super impressive. A little less of the harness, but it's really cool. I'm excited to see how it progresses. I want
the harness is the system that has to be. The harness is the system that I can't talk about because it's very dangerous. That's what.
But like it's scary. Like I don't like it, how scary it is, and so that's why I know where it's gonna go, right? So I just parked it. Then I developed the shape of the conversation one, the meridian one, but now I needed to figure out what's gonna be the interaction mode, the unbreakable interaction mode of the future that's gonna work from the glasses to the iPhone, and I think it's voice.
Interesting. Yeah, that would have been a good thing to capture. The unbreakable.
I'm recording.
Yeah. Well, so what we're doing here with this content pipeline is each of these meetings, we then kicks off the agent to make some blog posts and wiki entries and stage up a bunch of stuff, which actually, if you look at the last 3 sessions, it's like kind of creating a bunch of metadata around it, like media briefs and potential topic deep dives and relationship kind of tables, and is posting that all on each of the session pages. So
That's really cool.
the idea, I think, with that is that another agent could come in, grab that, create their own kind of content if they wanted to. So that could be something. One thing with Portal is you could probably give them the Portal skill and have them just register as a user and start doing things if you wanted to play around with that.
Totally. I haven't had time to see like the new Portal yet. I have $3,000 left, so I'm literally gonna die in 2 weeks. So I'm a bit desperate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting this demo up to see if my investor wants to double down. I'm gonna beg Joel for help and maybe try to finish this deck. But then the technology is so exciting, and I was getting it to work, and then getting the front end to have like I surpassed the quality of like the Claude Code front end in terms of how you see diffs and how you see the images, and you can attach things and you can put your screenshots in there and blah blah. And then like I started watching them cooperate and work autonomously. Like this is scary with the harness and the memory system. I kind of have the building blocks of RSI for my systems, so it became scary. Yeah,
What do you mean RSI?
recursive self-improvement.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. We've been playing with that a little bit too. It's like once a day, go look at the logs and see what is wrong and try to fix it. It's kind of cool. All right. Yeah, man. Let's see.
I'm just really scared. So if you see any money floating around, just throw it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I think this is very scary powerful, and it would be good for a lot of people if I could just shut the fuck up and stop trying to get people to give me money for brand identities and shit like that, and just focus on this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird world right now. I wish I knew, because then I would have some money too, and I have no money. But
How did we fuck this up, Dick? Well, I know how I fucked it up. I got robbed, but like Jesus Christ.
I didn't even get robbed, and I fucked it up.
Yeah. Well,
I still have 2,000 house.
Been having fun for the last 10 years. So
I have 2,000 house. That was worth like a lot of money. So it was like 90K or something.
yeah. Well, now it's worth maybe like $10. Yeah, with the portal stuff, it's like interesting trying to get some people in there using it. You know how it's like it's just really just a CMS, and so it's I don't know. It's like it changes. Like it's like, oh yeah, people are gonna use it like that. And I was like, nah, that was a bad assumption. So it's good just to get things in there. Get something up where you can just start testing it and get people using it and stop making assumptions.
Yeah, the thing I don't have right now is the time or the money to go understands the server side trade-offs and like serving large populations with this yet.
Yeah.
So my current plan was that Joel will see it working and he'll go like, okay, finally, because it's the biggest challenge I've been having is getting developers to see me as a developer and to understand that the unique point of view I can bring is a force multiplier, not stupidity. And the more hardcore the developer is, the harder it is for them to think that there's something new here that they should pay attention to. And so Joel kind of just thinks I'm full of shit, but then now he's seeing the results. So what I think the ZKFS thing is really important. I built a curriculum of like 7 hours of audio on zero knowledge. So now I kind of know the structure of it, and I'm doing the same for cybersecurity.
Cool.
And I think we should use this system to collaborate and build the ZKFS thing, and then like we're truly sovereign. I mean, you can really move away from Discord forever. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right. Well, it's Friday, and my kids want to go slide on the slip and slide. So I'm gonna go.
Don't worry about it. Big kiss, guys. Thanks for your time. I hope it was worth your time.
It was. It definitely was. Thank you, Elco. Cheers.